Lilo and Stitch, Snow White, Dumbo. In this super popular and highly successful trend of turning cartoons into live-action films that are still just going to end up being cartoons, we thought we'd do the opposite. We will be discussing animated horror, again, on this episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast.
Attention planet Earth and beyond. Stay tuned for Attack of the Killer Podcast. 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 That's time for the show. Yay.
What?
Hello and welcome to another zany and wacky episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast. I am your host, Insane Mike, and today we are going to be talking about animated horror. If this is your first time listening to our show, Attack of the Killer Podcast is a horror movie podcast where a group of friends get together and who all love horror movies. We pick a topic, we discuss films within that topic. Now, we're just friends, hanging out, chilling like Bob Dylan, so there's probably going to be spoilers. Now, did you know that we currently have a contest going on Discord? Probably not if you haven't already entered, because it's super easy. Each member of the Killer Podcast crew has put together a prize package full of so much cool horror stuff. We've already given out 2 prize packages so far, so time is running out, but there's still 2 more to go. And all you got to do, it's so simple, you just go to our Discord, aotkp.com/Discord. Once you join our Discord, you go to the Welcome Introductions channel, tell us a little about yourself, and boom, you're entered in. Again, I told you, that's simple. You didn't believe me, but it is that simple. We would love to see your horror collections, though. If you go to the collections sharing channel, you can leave us pics of your collections, and that is going to actually automatically get you a second entry into the contest. Stack those ballots, right?
That's right.
At the end of the month, we will draw the winner. So there is still time to win for July and for August. So congratulations to XenaFriend97 and Brian84 who have won the first 2 months. So head on over to our Discord, aotkp.com/Discord, and get entered into a chance to win the last of the 2 prize packages. Would you like more Attack of the Killer Podcast in your lives? Well, join our Patreon anyway. All money donated to our Patreon goes right back into the show. And when you become part of the Attack of the Killer Podcast family, you become what we call an attacker. And as such, you get all kinds of extra content and perks. You can get our bonus episodes, so you can get a podcast from us every single week. Next week's episode, by the way, we're going to be talking about our favorite makeup effects artists. Oh, it's a good one, too. But that's not all. You get our YouTube shows like Top 10 Lists, Killer Critiques, and video updates. You can also get original art from me called Mikey's Monsters, where I draw you as a monster of my choice. And there is so much more, including getting shout-outs on the show like these attackers right here.
Timothy Leonard, Roman Doppelfeld, Larry Watanabe, Brett J. Royer, Jessica Irish, Chris Cook, Brian Godsell, Stefan Sitter, Brandy Moore, Andrew Mahler, Rodney Dean Hutchinson Jr., Carmen DeHague, Abraham Ariano, Andrew Bentler, Casey Kelderman, Tony Miller, Mike Clayton, Rose Talashoma, Abe Kirshner, Lisa Cavalier, Holly Berg, Bill Fisher, Greg Dedrick, Sam Lenz, Garth Jacobson, Brett White, Tiffany Dewey, Scott Reebsman, Chris Collins, and Jacob McLaughlin.
Oh, he made it. He made it. That was a close one.
It was.
And you too can be on that list. That is the right list to be on. All you have to do is go to jointheattackers.com, pick the tier that best suits you, and become an attacker today. Again, that's jointheattackers.com. And now it is time to introduce you to the podcast crew. He told me that he thinks he's losing his hearing. I asked him what the symptoms were. He said they were a cartoon about a family that lives in Springfield. Jason!
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in.
When he was a kid, he thought his parents were afraid of cartoons because once he turned on the TV to watch his cartoons, his parents would run off to their bedroom and hide under the sheets. And he must have been really scared because he could hear their bed shaking. Brian!
Oh, thanks for that. Hi, everyone.
Exactly the response I was expecting. He is not a fan of the newest anime called The Lumberjack. He finds the animation choppy and the voice acting extremely wooden. Tad!
Hey guys.
You
No.
should just be happy you didn't get the parents fucking intro, okay?
You're welcome. I saved that just for you, Brian. All right, so, it's summertime. And with all the free time that each of us have this summer, it gives us the chance to watch so many movies and shows. Not like we're putting on film festivals or planning or attending different events or anything like that or working full-time jobs. All this free time to watch stuff. So let's find out what the crew has been watching with all this free time. Here's Tad with what we watched.
Well, I believe Brian actually did have some time off this week. I'm not sure if he spent it watching movies. I wouldn't be surprised. But what have you watched, Brian?
Oh, sure, I spent it watching movies. Well, after the last episode, watching Aliens again made me want to revisit the first couple of Terminator movies, because I hadn't seen either of them in a very long time. And I always forget how much of a horror movie the first one is, and how completely fucking over the top the second one is. Like, at times it almost seems like Cameron is making fun of himself and his excesses. Like the super cheesy music, when they play Bad to the Bone when Arnold first shows up, and there's some fucking ridiculous dialogue. But then that sequence where Sarah escapes from the mental hospital is like one of the scariest, tensest things ever. So, like, that's got to be one of the most insane American action movies ever made. Just the car driving that fucking semi off the bridge.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's like seeing if we can. Like, can we do this?
Yeah,
Should we?
just-
No, but can we? Like,
And some, like, man, even I feel like in, what did that come out, 91, 92, like, some of that CGI even then probably didn't look so great, but I don't remember.
One of the nice things about it is that it doesn't have to look great since he's liquid metal.
Right. I'm guessing Mike would probably be the only one who would say yes to this. Has anyone seen the original director's cut of Forbidden World?
no.
Honestly, I can't say I even have, no.
I knew it was, like, it's in the Scream Factory Blu-ray set, and it's I always heard that it was very different. Like, there was more comedy in it, and it was like the pacing was a lot slower, but I kind of feel like how differently could you cut a movie like that? Turns out very differently.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting. It's well worth a watch. I think it's actually better. Like the Corman, like the final cut that everyone knows and has seen it's a fun sleazy monster movie, but I feel like the actual, as the director wanted it to be, was a much more interesting thing. I got another one of Brian Pollan's movies from Saturn's Core after I watched Bone Sickness. I loved that one, so I picked up At Dawn They Sleep, which involves a couple of angels who want to cleanse the earth of humanity, turning a couple of dudes into vampires. It's a very convoluted thing, but it looks great. I think he is one of my favorite shot-on-video filmmakers after watching these two. We got out to the theater on Friday. Actually, instead, we specifically planned to go to the theater at the evening show on the 4th of July, assuming everyone was going to be gone to the fireworks. And we were right, because there were like 6 other people in the theater. And we saw the new Jurassic World movie. It's fine. There's some real, like, all the stuff with actual animals that existed at one point, like the mosasaur or the Quetzalcoatlus, especially the Quetzalcoatlus part, because I don't like heights, and they're like rappelling down a 500-foot cliff, and then they're being attacked by Quetzalcoatlus. As dark-eyed pterosaurs are some of the scariest fucking things that ever lived on Earth. They're giant carnivorous flying reptiles the size of a giraffe. When they walked on the ground, their heads were like 12 to 15 feet off the ground. And they have these giant, scary, machete beaks, and yeah. But then I don't understand why these movies feel like they have to keep having, oh, we made up new dinosaurs. There's monster dinosaurs now. Like,
Right.
man, I get the point they were trying to make with that, with the Indominus Rex in the first Jurassic World, because yeah, people probably are dumb enough to eventually get tired of thinking dinosaurs are cool. But yeah, do that in one movie and then be done with it. Like, and then just go back to I don't know, dinosaurs are cool enough on their own. Leave it alone. I went up to Minneapolis yesterday and hung out with a friend for a while, and we watched Saurians. Mike, have you seen this one?
No, uh-uh.
It's a Polonia Brothers dinosaur movie.
Oh, no way. I'm on it.
It's a movie.
Wait, where did you see this?
He's got the SRS Cinema DVD VHS combo. It was
okay.
limited to like 40 copies or something.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if it's still in. I've tried to find this one on YouTube a few different times over the years, and I can never track it down. But I suppose you might be able to find it on Internet Archive. I haven't looked there.
Have you checked Tubi? Because I know there's a lot of Polonius Brothers films on Tubi.
I haven't, but honestly, a lot of SRS's stuff is on Tubi, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Assuming they still have the rights to it, that it probably would be on there. And then I'll wrap up with a couple of, I got back into the misery porn with one that Bill has actually been after me to watch this one for a while, and he watched it. It might have been on Tubi, and he told me about it, and I went to watch it the next week, and it was gone, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I just found it on YouTube last weekend. So it's called Green Elephant. It's this super fucking grim Russian movie about two military officers who, it's not really clear what they fucked up, but it doesn't matter. They get sent to a gulag, and it's just about their horrible treatment and the conditions driving them insane. Like, most of the movie is just these two guys in this one horrible little room with like a drippy sewer pipe, and it's shot on like the worst grade SVHS you've ever seen in your life, which like that adds to it, because I think if you could see clearly what was going on, it wouldn't be nearly as effective. But having this really bad washed out image quality is is really what sells how miserable as this is. So at one point, one of them snaps and attacks the officer in charge of like guarding their cell and rips his trachea out and makes the other guy blow through it like an elephant's trunk. So that's where the title comes from. And it just
That's amazing.
it's something. There's some poo stuff in it, and I don't mean Winnie the.
It's not the Pooniverse?
No. Well, it might be it's a Pooniverse all of its own. But it's just kind of a meditation on how awful and cruel humanity is, to how we are to each other for absolutely no fucking reason. Like, because at the end of the day, nothing is accomplished by any of the tortures these guys go through, and it just kind of makes you feel bad about the world. And then finally, the new one from Scott Shermer and Brian Williams, Gush. This is going to be on my year-end list for sure. Like, Ellie Church's performance in this is a career best. Like, she should, if there's like an independent film Oscar, somebody give her one. It's a multi-layered story about inspiration, creative inspiration, how it can be manipulated, how the entertainment industry uses and abuses creatives as a, where we just make product for them kind of thing. Yeah, it's incredible. If you guys get a chance I don't know if there's any leftover Blu-rays from the Kickstarter. I assume they'll eventually make like a standard version of it or something, but it'll be out streaming probably later this year if it's not already. And I highly recommend checking that out. I don't know if you guys are fans of those dudes or not, but like Plank Face and Harvest Lake and that.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one might be their best movie. I don't know. That could just be recency bias talking too. I don't know, but it's right up there. Okay, that's it. Somebody else.
All right. Well, Jason, when you weren't at the rodeo, what did you watch?
I watched a lot of stuff actually. Working on this year's top 10. I watched Tiffany and I watched Sinners. Finally watched that.
Hell yeah.
Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld.
You love it?
It was great. It was awesome. Loved it a lot.
I was just going to say, I read that this is sort of a cool fact, being a trivia guy. They got all the costumes from the unmade Marvel Blade movie that's supposed to be done forever ago. Apparently, part of that movie was supposed to be a period piece, and they had all these costumes. And, Ryan Coogler did the Black Panther movies and has a relationship with Marvel, and was like, what are you doing with all those costumes you're sitting on for the Blade movie? And they sold them to him at cost and saved them a ton of money. So
Nice.
Cool.
For me, it was all about the cinematography, man. It was so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
And the style, the color grading, it was just a beautiful movie.
yeah,
And it was cool as shit. We also watched Novocaine with Jack Quaid.
Oh, yeah.
That was really fun.
Why was I thinking about the Steve Martin? Is there a Steve Martin Novocaine movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
This is one where he has a disorder where he can't feel pain. And then
It's fun. Jack Quaid is fun.
oh, he's just
Yeah.
awesome. After The Boys, it's just like everything he does is amazing.
Yeah.
We made it to the theater to see Megan 2.0. Woo! And I loved it. Thought it was great. I don't think it was necessarily as horror movie as the first one. But it wasn't less than to me. I mean, we both thought it was action-packed fun. It was cool. I loved it. Any of you guys seen it yet?
Not
No, I
yet,
want
but
to.
I want to.
Yeah. Loved it. Definitely recommend it. And then was it last night before a Minecraft movie? Finally checked that out. You got some JB, so
Heck yeah.
it can't be bad, right?
No, it's great.
It's all right. It's funny and cool. It's Minecraft. I don't know that
I mean, I appreciate it more knowing that it's directed by, God dang it, what's his face? Napoleon Dynamite.
Jared Hess.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that helped. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it made the weird stuff like, oh, okay.
Makes more sense. Like, it's okay that it's weird because it's
in
to
good
be
hands
expected. Yeah.
It was on purpose weird.
Yeah.
Deliberate. And then, I don't mean to call her out here, but she made it 50 years without seeing this movie with a big fish in it called Jaws. And I was going to say that I wasn't the only thing that's aged well as 50. Anyway, we watched Jaws. It was July. You're supposed to.
Yep.
But she hadn't seen it. Tiffany hasn't seen it, so it was fun to watch her watch it. It was funny. When we got done, she started defending the shark because they're like, everyone was going into his house. Like,
Good point.
he's just trying to hang out in his house. Everyone keeps bugging him. It was funny, but anyway, watch Jaws. It was great. Was it Hulu or
It's on
Peacock.
Peacock? So
yeah.
on the Peacock one,
Has a nice intro.
yeah, Steven Spielberg does a nice little intro to it. It's just good hearing him talk about the movie. He doesn't. I don't hear him talk too much, and so it was nice hearing him just talk about it again. And then we finished on Apple TV. There's The Studio, which was really good. It's about a movie studio. It's awesome. It's got Seth Rogen. And then we've been watching Stick on there. It's really, really, really good. It's a show about golf. But Owen Wilson is the star of it, and Mark Maron is his mouthy sidekick friend.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I know. I love Mark Maron so much.
Me too.
And it's smart. It's I think people from the show that's the best show ever on there with the Ted Lasso people were doing this one, so it's well written and very heartstring, but super funny. Owen Wilson, top of his comedic game in this. He's so funny. And that's what I've been watching.
I saw him on. He's promoting it on Hot Ones, but he didn't have a lot to say about the actual show. I'm like, well, come on, man.
Yeah, it's great. He's he was a legend golfer, and at the height of his amazingness, something bad happens, and he has a on the course meltdown that derailed his career, and then he's just struggling. He's divorced, and he's married to Judy Greer, so she's in it too, who's awesome, and then he just one day he hears some kid swing a golf club and hit a ball, and he's like, oh, that whoever hit that. And then he goes and finds this kid and like tries to mentor this kid, and it's his way to kind of like fulfill his golfing destiny, if not for himself, to help this kid who is fucking amazing. I know it's golf. I don't give a fuck about golf, but it's it's the kind of shows where you just look past that and just see the relationships and see that, and it's awesome. It's really great. That's what I watched.
Yeah, I want to watch the studio. Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's so good.
I've heard it's great. It's just I'm like holding on to that and the new season of The Bear for the end of the film festival. It's like my treat. I get to
That's what you get.
give myself time to actually enjoy something.
Yes,
But
studios are mostly half-hour episodes. There's like 10 of them, so it's not bad. It's
nice. Okay, well, how about you, Mike? What did you
I
watch?
have not watched much, and definitely nothing new, but watched a couple movies with Simon to introduce him to some stuff. We finished the Cornetto trilogy for him. We watched At World's End, and I hadn't seen it in forever myself. And it's not as good as the first two films, and I've never really been able to put my finger on as to why. I always thought maybe it was just that the storyline is far more broader and different than the other two films, where it feels like the other two films has such more of a simplistic storyline, but then has all this great character and comedy around it. But I don't know. Maybe not. I just haven't really been able to put my finger on why it's not as strong as the other two. But he loved it. But he's also in the same boat. That Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are way better.
Yeah.
After I watched all of the what's it called? Pee-wee himself? Is that the?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. After watching all that, I sat down with him and watched Pee-wee's Big Holiday, because I hadn't seen that since it first came out, and wanted to expose him to some more Pee-wee, because I think we've watched Big Adventure, and
that sentence.
I'm on a list now. And I think I showed him the Pee-wee Herman show, so I figured it's time for this one. I wanted to watch it again. And dude, I'm telling you, whatever you want to say about that movie, I only have one thing that I want to talk about, and that's the balloon scene with the Amish.
That's so funny.
Oh my!
Goes
God.
on forever.
It goes on forever, and it's still the dumbest and funniest thing ever committed to film. But
so good.
Only a guy like Paul Rubens can make that as funny as it is.
It goes back to not funny and back to funny 2 or 3 times, not just once. It goes it's so great.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, they talk about it in the documentary, but it's definitely a throwback to that scene in Playhouse where he has like the close-up shot of the dog eating the dog food for like 3 minutes straight.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, how did this get on air for television? But like also as a kid, it's like as a child and an adult, it's just so funny because it goes on way too long. It's way too close up. It's way too gross, but it's like so stupid that it's great.
Yeah. Genius. Total genius. And then I watched for the first time. I've had the DVD forever. I found it at like I think the Watch Your Flea Market years and years ago. Maniac Cop 3: Badge of Honor.
Oof.
Yeah, exactly. I've always heard it's the worst of the franchise. From a franchise I've never really given that much crap about. I mean, the first two films are great and are good and all, and they're fine. Yeah, they're fun. But and I'm like, I should probably finally watch this, right? So it's very boring. And it's a bummer, too, because this is a movie that tries really hard to be way over the top, with the whole voodoo thing, and then like the Maniac Cop trying to find like the bride of Maniac Cop kind of premise thing going on, but it just doesn't commit to any of it. It wants to go crazy, but then just ends up just being lackluster and talky and like none of it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fathom that Larry Cohen and
William Lustig.
well, Lustig, yeah, I remembered William and I lost his last name for a minute. How those two guys, who've made so many amazing things that we all love,
Yeah,
working together, managed to make a movie that was so fucking boring.
but then
But I
did
don't
it
think either
twice
one of them
before.
wanted to make that. If I'm remembering correctly, that was like the producers were like, "Okay, you're making another Maniac Cop movie because we have a contract." And I'm like, God damn it!
It could be. I don't know.
So-
When I entered it on my letterbox, I noticed that William Lustig is credited as director, but then there's also an Alan Smithy credit.
Well, maybe there's
So did
different
somebody
cuts.
else direct it, and William Lustig had to finish it, or
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, the first movie is okay.
Yeah.
The second one is fantastic. I think there's some of
Yeah.
the coolest car and fire stunts in any horror movie. Like, it's just wild, the stunt work they did in that second one. And then yeah, that third one just kind of sits there and like dares you not to fall asleep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, but that's what I watched. Tad, what about you? What did you watch?
I actually have watched a few things, but
Oh, wow.
nothing like I didn't throw on any new movies because they were mostly playing in the background as I worked on stuff. But of course, I watched Jaws, and probably you could tell by me interrupting Jason that I watched it on Peacock, even though I own Blu-ray 4K.
Yeah.
Same.
Everything.
Saves wear and tear on the Blu-ray player. If you can
Eh.
stream it, why would you?
And well, I was upstairs, and we don't have a player upstairs, and I was putting the Snake Alley trophies together, and I'm like, I'll just throw on Jaws. Nikki was like already falling asleep because I don't think I convinced her. Like, you want to watch Jaws again? Like, didn't we just watch it? Yeah, last 4th of July. We were at a 4th of July friends party, and they left the remote like just out, and so I threw on Happy Gilmore because I was like, there's a lot of kids here, but it's like it's still probably not appropriate for kids, but at least it's something. And the new one's coming out this month, and I had not seen it from front to back maybe since the late 90s. Still holds up. I still think Billy Madison's my favorite.
Yeah.
But Happy Gilmore's still great and funny. And Adam Sandler, I mean, he just like Will Ferrell found that thing where he's like, I play a hapless dumbass that falls into a situation where I need money, so what do? And I'm gonna go to a sport. And yeah, still funny though. Of course, threw on Independence Day while I worked on some stuff. That was like, I still remember my brother saving up his dishwasher money when he was 14 to buy 4-head VCR and like a 5.1 channel surround sound and watching Independence Day on it. And I still love that movie. It's dumb, and every year it gets dumber, but it is funny to sort of see like at the end when like the countries are coming together and they're sending Morse code to all these other countries that we're going to attack the aliens and stuff, and like the very bad stereotypes of like, it's like they shows the really bad CG pyramids in the background, and people in like Egypt are all like wearing cloaks and head turbans. It's just like,
oh God.
yeah, this is so 90s. Like, but another one that I watched last night that happened to be on Pluto. I love like when I don't want to pick a movie and hit play from the start, I just get on Pluto and see what's playing.
Yeah.
And Little Nicky had just started, and again, Adam Sandler, and I'm like, it's always been one of my favorite Adam Sandler's.
Me too, yeah.
Mostly because Tiffany is an extra in it.
That's right.
Uh,
Right. She
but,
was just telling us that.
It's weird because Nikki's like my Nikki, not Little Nikki, but she is a big Adam Sandler stan, and if we see like Little Nikki or Zohan or certain ones on, she's like no. But I don't put Little Nikki in that category. I think it's still great. I think
Yeah.
it still holds up. I can't believe some of the shit, like rewatching it again last night in the credits when it's like Beefy reunited with his ex and got married, and they had some of the ugliest kids, and it's like really, really, really bad Photoshop of rats with dog heads on them. I'm like, this is so, like, by today's standards, this is so bad and lazy. But it still cracks me up. Like, and it's just cool to like, especially after you've watched, I've recently watched Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and seen like Adam Sandler's just a good dude that brings in his friends. Like, if you're part of his crew, you're gonna get fed, you're gonna get a small role, and of course, every time I watch it, I go down the rabbit hole. I'm like, how the fuck did they get Quentin Tarantino to do this cameo? And everywhere on the internet, it's like, well, he really likes to act, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that doesn't answer my question. Like,
Yeah.
you would think Tarantino would be like just shit on Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be the total opposite corners in 1994, Billy Madison versus Pulp Fiction, that these two people were, and it blows my mind that like I don't know, how did this line up? How did this happen? And there's no information out there about like, I searched the web, I searched ChatGPT, I asked, and there's people discussing it, but like no one has a clear answer where Tarantino's ever addressed how that came to be.
I have
He's
a
an
theory.
incorrigible attention whore. How about that?
But like, if
there's
that was the
that.
case, there would be more of that, right? Like,
Well, that's true.
I
Because
have
people are
one-
like, he loves acting. If you offer him a cameo, he'll do it. I'm like, well, if that's the case, he would be in a million cameos.
I have one theory.
Okay.
And that's Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, that was what some people said, was that, him playing the devil could have been some kind of link or something. But I still feel like,
And as far as I'm concerned, Quentin Tarantino owes Harvey Keitel his entire career, and hopefully Quentin feels that way too. So
yeah,
it would be a matter of like, it'd be cool to get in our movie is Quentin Tarantino, and Harvey's like, yeah, I know him. Let me give him a call.
or if he just was like, we need someone to play this preacher, and he's like, what if we got this guy? Because it's so just still ridiculous. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I would not think of him in that role. But of course, it's sort of like the Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder thing, where it's like, it's a person who takes themselves pretty seriously in a funny role. It always works. And
Yeah.
I still love the movie. It's still held up for me. I still laugh quite a bit at it. I love the two metalhead friends.
Yes.
They're fucking great in this. They're so dumb, but it's like so dead on of so many of my friends growing up that were metalheads. So, and the whole bit of Chicago playing backwards cracks me up. It's just the little things like that I think Sandler always nails. It's never the big plot points. It's the little tiny references, like when he's floating and he stops at the wrong window, and that person's like the crossdresser playing with his nipples, and then later, and they have several callbacks to that character.
Yeah.
And then the credits, it's like he married that guy. It's just, yeah, good stuff, man. Little Nicky.
The challenge, though, with Adam Sandler films is finding the right director to have that decent balance between those Adam Sandler bits and a cohesive storyline. I feel like Little Nicky I'm with you. It's probably one of, if not my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but I feel like that's the movie that was kind of like the crossroads of letting the bits take over the storyline. I mean, even if you watch Little Nicky, there's just so much like forced quick exposition to explain how we got from point A to point C with not showing us point B at all. Instead, then we get to see people, cross-dressers playing with their nipples. So the balance started to shift at that point with Little Nicky and kind of went downhill from there. And I think maybe that's why Little Nicky gets shit on a lot.
I think people like when Sandler plays Sandler less, more so than when Sandler plays like Waterboy, Little Nicky, like when he plays these like weird, does
When
the
he does the
voices,
voices,
yeah, and outlandish, like no one would ever exist like that. But they prefer when he's just Sandler. And I've always been curious, not to open a whole Sandler tab, but like you're talking about finding the right director and stuff. It's like at this point, maybe it's just because he's notoriously sort of lazy, but it's like, why isn't Sandler just directing his own movies? I mean, he always like collaborates with people, but it's like I feel like he could just step behind the camera and just do it,
Probably, but I kind of feel like maybe it'd be a mess because I feel like when it comes to the direction, sometimes he has too much input, and that's where things go off the rail. So I don't know if he could fully handle like maintaining the story structure. I don't know.
I'm curious. From the trailers on Happy Gilmore 2, I'm not like optimistic because it looks like it's 90 minutes of his cameos. Like unreal. Like how many cameos just in the fucking trailer. It's like there's Bad Bunny, there's Eminem, it's just like one after another after another after another. It has Travis Kelsey in it. Has it's like every celebrity lined up for this thing, and it's like I get it, but for Netflix to get people to watch it, but it's just to me, I'm like, there's going to be a story in there too, right? I would rather see a Billy Madison sequel myself, but anyways, that's what I watched.
All right, let's get into some animated horror films. Brian, what's the first movie we're going to talk about?
Oh, the first one tonight is a real treat coming from Japan. It is Lily C.A.T.
Next,
We're interplanetary taxi drivers. Everybody else is just along for the ride.
interstellar transport is not all it's cracked up to be.
It appears that you have two people aboard who are not who they claim to be.
Time jumpers, we're dealing with a couple of criminals.
The first thing we have to do is to find who those two people are.
In fact, these folks were better off asleep.
Something was brought into this ship, and some kind of deadly bacteria were brought in with it.
In space,
What in blazes is happening?
no one
I never thought it would end like this.
should have to put up with
Lily Cat?
Lily C.A.T. Next on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I love that the trailer you found is the one from Sci-Fi
Hell yeah.
That's all there was. Like,
Saturday Anime, because that's where I first saw this movie.
awesome.
So from writer-director Hisayuki Toriumi, best known for Gatchaman, or Battle of the Planets, as it was known here stateside, and with creatures designed by Yoshitaka Amano from Vampire Hunter D and the Final Fantasy video games. Lily C.A.T. is the story of a crew of a deep space mining vessel comes out of stasis to find out that two of their crew are fugitives who use long space voyages to outrun the statute of limitations on crimes they commit. And unfortunately, that is the least of their problems, because one of the probes on the ship brought some kind of ship-eating space virus on board while they were asleep, and it is slowly disintegrating the vessel around them. The ship's cat is actually taking the place of the Ash character from Alien as a robot spy for Con Business Corp Enterprises Huge Co. Limited, and is only concerned with getting the shape-shifting monster that evolved from the space germ back to Earth for, nefarious corporate reasons. Yeah, this one was... I can't remember if I saw this or Vampire Hunter D first, but this was one of the very first anime things I ever saw on Sci-Fi Channel back in the day. So when we first got our satellite dish, and it was just kind of discovering all these new, what gets programmed on Saturday mornings and what gets programmed late at night on the weekend, all these different blocks of all this stuff that I'd never been able to see before. And so, yeah, I got to see all kinds of cool anime stuff. And I remember this one really creeping me out. Like because I'd never seen anything in animation before that of that kind of body horror.
Yeah.
You've seen some, like Secret of Nim and that kind, some scarier children's animation, but this is the first adult animation, especially with something like the people exploding into these horrible globby tentacle things with teeth sticking out of their eyes and all that shit. But yeah, it's kind of half Alien ripoff and half The Thing.
Yep.
With a combination of, yes, it's a space monster, but it's a shape-shifting thing, and the setting is like Alien, but yeah, I dig this one. It's cool. Plus, it's a quick watch. It's only like 70 minutes long or something. So.
Yeah, that was in my notes, and my comparison is it's The Thing meets Aliens meets that darn cat. Yeah, no, I really love this too. I'm bummed. This was a first-time watch, so I'm bummed I did not get to see this back in 1987, because it probably would have ended up being my favorite anime. But watching it so much later in life, you've seen a lot of this kind of stuff like 1,000 times since then, even in anime. So it didn't probably have the same gut punch that it would have had back then, but it's still great. I still loved it. I like how it takes the whole thing, an alien concept, even further, that it's affecting the whole ship instead of it just being, affecting the people, turning them into creatures and stuff. So that was a cool twist, and I love the look of the anime in this, and from other ones of this era where
80s and 90s anime is the best anime.
Yeah.
Like, you still get that completely 2D hand-drawn cell animation. There's no cell shading. There's no digital 3D. There's none of that shit. It's just proper hand-drawn cartoons.
Yep. Gives it
with the most insane detail work.
Yeah. And it also has kind of like this kind of haze look over it, which all just makes the whole thing feel a little bit more otherworldly. Yeah, but I totally dig this one.
It's apparently a big plot point in a one called Gunbuster that is supposed to be amazing, and I haven't seen that one yet. But I really like the story idea in this. Of my favorite part of it didn't have anything to do with the monster. It was these time jumpers. The idea that you have these long multi-year space voyages, because we come to find out several of the characters are like over 200 years old because their jobs take them into on these voyages where they're in stasis, kind of like in Aliens. Ripley wakes up 57 years. That was an accident. She was just floating around in space. But the idea that there are people who can commit some will murder or rob a huge bank or do something where you're going to have the full intergalactic police force after you, and so you get a fake ID, you smuggle yourself on board a ship like this, and you go to sleep for 30 years. And by the time you wake up, no one fucking remembers what you did, and you get to start your life over and do it all again.
Yep, I liked it too. Same things, all that you said. The animation was great. I loved just, it's Aliens and the Thing. It's just a great world to be in. I enjoyed its slow pace and figuring it out. And once the cat got it, I'm like, oh shit, I thought that's what it's named after, this cat. Now what's going to happen? I don't remember what the C.A.T. stands for. I'm sure
it's an acronym of some kind.
It was,
I don't even know
something animal technology.
Yeah, but
cat-like animal technology.
But yeah, I liked it too. That was really good.
I do want to say that just real quick here, that when I put this episode together, I didn't think I would have to give like a second thought of 2 out of these 3 films being possible trigger warnings for a couple members of the show. With what goes on with the cat and then stuff that goes on in the next film. So, yeah, I didn't see that coming, but
yeah, this is
if you're going to watch anime horror, you're going to expect some trigger warnings.
Yeah, but I also think it feels different in anime.
Right. Yeah,
because it's definitely not real, and there's no actual animals involved.
But this is the first time watch for me. I was not like seeing the little. I didn't read into it. I didn't watch a trailer. I just saw the thumbnail, and I'm like, this could either be awesome or I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I really enjoyed it. Very cool. I mean, just saying, obviously, right away, you get the Thing vibes with the cat, and it instantly made you think of the dogs and the Thing, and then just the people in the pods and being on the ship and stuff gives you the alien vibes. But that's not a bad thing. And I have such admiration for this. It's like a weird time where the animation, hadn't been switched over to like computer animated yet. There are no shortcuts. It's traditional animation, but there's just not I mean, there probably is way more than I realize, but there's not a whole lot of that is completely adult oriented. Like this is not something that's like for kids that has nods to adults. This is for adults. And it just makes me think of like, I don't know, watching it, it's like, think of the music that was popular at the time and who is this for, who's watching this, because it's not like we had streaming back then. You probably had to like dig to find this, and then further on that, reading more about it, seeing that it was on this sci-fi anime Saturday morning thing, that's really cool, because that was probably such a big exposure for so many people who had no other way at the time of seeing this kind of thing, and to
for sure, yeah,
show that it probably changed a lot of people's minds and influenced them. So that's really cool too. And it does take me back to, I was born in 85, but some of those, shows you'd watch back then, like the traditional animation, it just like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost dreamlike, where it's like, I'm watching that style of animation. I grew up as a kid where I was watching kid shows, but I'm watching this cat get mutilated and these people gooey and gore, and it's like this is like the perfect combination of things for a man-child such as myself. So
yeah, anime is a whole different world, man. We got to do a full episode on that sometime. I mean, if I don't know if you've ever seen like Akira. I mean, that's not really a horror movie, but that, I mean, the detail in that is just unreal. But you know, most of these were not meant for like TV and stuff in Japan when these were being created, and there's more of these things than you could ever fucking hope to count in your life. But they were released directly on video. And that was, you know, part of the appeal was doing it that way. You didn't have to worry about censorship. You could show whatever the fuck horrible, violent, messed up things you wanted. And so that, you know, they were super popular for that reason, because it gave these creators the freedom to use the animation techniques to do something that was for adults.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any trivia for this, Tad?
I actually do. IMDb didn't have any, but so I had to do a little more actual digging. But director Hisayuki
Toriyumi.
Thank you. Allegedly watched The Thing in Japanese cinemas and was struck by how different and grotesque American sci-fi horror had become. According to anime historians, he wanted to create something similarly tense, paranoid, and disturbing, but with a Japanese anime lens. Even requested the animation team to study the stills from Alien and The Thing for lighting and creature references. So that makes a lot of sense. Like many streamlined picture titles from the 1980s, the English voice cast was never formally credited in the film. This was partly because of how anime dubbing was treated at the time. It was low budget, fast paced, and often done with non-union actors. So voice historians still debate exactly who voiced which character in the dub. Studio Parrot, who produced Lily C.A.T, is mostly famous for much lighter or action-oriented fare like Naruto, Bleach, and Yu Yu Hakusho. Lily C.A.T stands out in their catalog as one of their only serious adult-oriented horror titles. It was a rare experiment for them, and they never really revisited the tone again. And then finally, the creature designs, and I imagine, Brian, you knew this, or you might have even mentioned it and I missed it, but the creature designs in Lily C.A.T were by Yoshitaka
Amano.
There you go.
Who did Vampire Hunter D in the Final Fantasy games.
Who later become well known for grotesque and imaginative monster work on Kamen Rider and Garo. His early work here helped establish the film's unsettling bio-horror tone. The melting, oozing alien forms were done with an eye towards disturbing organic horror over mechanical designs.
I didn't know he did stuff for Garo. I thought Keita Memiya did all that, but...
I guess sometimes I got to teach you things, all right? And that's what I have for trivia.
All right, thanks. I have an idea for the show. Like, every time we slaughter the pronunciation of a name, we just dub in Brian's voice over top of what we're saying.
There we go. No one will ever notice.
No, these will be seamless. All right, Jason, what's our next film?
You got soul, I got soul. Let's boogie down at the Seoul Station.
아니 이거 인터넷에서 해성이 닮은 애를 좀 봐서 말이야. 뭐?
형님?
기용아.
멈춰!
아빠.
이 새끼 안 돼!
소영우 씨.
뭔 일 생기면 너 다리 몽둥아 부러뜨려버린다 이 새끼 너!
빨리 가 지금 긴급 상황인데 뭐 하는 거야? 가.
돌아버려서 난리가 나버렸는데.
Seoul Station is a sinister and suspenseful South Korean animated feature that serves as a prequel to the live-action hit Train to Busan. Set in the seedy, shadow-soaked streaks surrounding Seoul's Central Station, the story spirals into chaos as a sudden zombie outbreak brings panic, paranoia, and pandemonium to the city's most vulnerable citizens. Directed by Yon Sang-ho. That's Brian's putting it in there. Yon Sang-ho. This bleak but brilliantly bold film uses gritty animation and grim social commentary to shine a spotlight on society's forgotten homeless people, runaways, and those who dwell in the margins. With pulse-pounding pacing and creeping sense of dread, Seoul Station is a disturbing descent into the darkness where survival is scarce and trust is tenuous. I remember seeing this early on, I think, when it came out, because we all loved Train to Busan so much.
Yeah.
Like, that movie rules. And just a weird thing to have a prequel, but as animated by the same director. Really cool. So you knew it would be good, but so interesting. It's like, well, you got to see it.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a strange move. But yeah, I loved it. I assume we've all seen it already, but
yeah, definitely seen it before. Same thing when it first came out, and being a fan of Train to Busan. I mean, it could stand on its own too. It doesn't necessarily have to be connected, but yeah, it's always said to have been like a prequel. I will say, I do like this. I feel like it's kind of hard to screw it up as long as you got some interesting things going on with your human characters. How difficult is it then to screw up like a animated zombie film? So it definitely delivers. I just do want to say that how does a live action movie like Train to Busan have more over the top zombie action than the animated version?
Yeah.
I mean, you said gritty animation. Did you mean to say shitty?
Oh, no. Damn. It's a style. Come on.
It looks like Flash animation. It looks fucking cheap.
It's not that bad, Brian.
But I just wanted to get the snark out of the way first, because I actually really like this a lot. Well, I don't remember if I saw this before or not. I feel like it was something I would have, but I didn't remember any of it. And I remember when it was released, people just shit on it. Like, this movie was fucking hated when it came out. So I may have avoided it just because so many people I knew who liked this kind of stuff and who loved Train to Busan were like, this isn't good. But
yeah,
so
you're
watching
a bandwagoner kind of guy. So.
Yeah, for sure.
You know him.
Don't know anything about Brian.
So watching it this time, or for the first time, again, I don't remember. I thought the story was great. Like, I just wish the animation was like, if it had been hand-drawn animation, it would have been so much better. But I love how miserable and bleak the story is. Surprise! Because the poor girl just cannot catch a break.
No.
And there's that glimmer of hope when we first meet the guy who is claiming to be her father. And so like, oh, good, they're going to be reunited and he's going to get her away from... And then that turn when she backs behind the guy who was her boyfriend and pimp already with this look of fear on her face and says, that's not my dad.
Yes.
Just like you
Spoiler
just feel
alert,
your
by the way.
stomach drop out of your ass.
Yes.
Like, oh no, this is going to get so much worse.
I've seen it before and I forgot that still. So it hit me again.
Ditto.
I was like, yes.
Yes. I mean, a lot of the movie hinges on that one moment because it's just so impactful.
See, you guys all liked it for that, so why aren't you watching more of the miserable shit that I'm watching other than this?
Well, it made me think
I'll get you on my side yet.
I mean, it made me think of the first time you watch Old Boy, and you have a similar reveal. It's like, oh, fuck. I mean, a little more gross in that one, but still...
It kind of makes me think of The Mist, where like The Mist has these multiple downer endings, but never what you would expect. Like in a zombie film, you expect if you're gonna have a downer ending, they're just all killed off by zombies. But no, you get invested in this story of this boyfriend and father trying to reconnect with the daughter girlfriend, and then it's just going the worst way possible. Oh, so good.
Rough. But good.
Yeah. No, I was trying to remember, like, if we watched this for a watch party. I know we did Train to Busan as a watch party before, but I'm like, so Seoul Station, I'm like, I've seen this. Where have I seen it? I still don't know exactly where I saw it, but it had a hard. Of course, I heard the same stuff Brian did when I looked it up. I'm like, oh, there's a prequel animated. That's sort of cool, and looked it up, and everybody was shitting on it. So I'm like, but it's a very high bar with Train to Busan. So
yeah.
I don't remember what the criticisms of it were, other than maybe like what I said about the animation looking kind of janky. But I would bet some of it was to do with like what you were saying before about how the animated version, which theoretically should have no physical limitations, is this very quiet, small-time story with not a lot of action in it, whereas Train to Busan has, outside of World War Z, probably the most ridiculous fucking zombie attack in cinema history.
Yeah, falling like 2 stories out of a window, getting back up and running. Yeah, a whole mess of zombies at once.
But I don't know, maybe it's just been long enough now, but and this is not new by any means, but like rewatching this now, I'm sort of like, okay, like zombies can be here again. Like the zombie thing was so
Burnout's
oversaturated.
finally.
Yes, from Walking Dead and onward, that it just like, and if I had to watch something with zombies, I was just like, oh god damn it, even like the classics, I'm just like, I'm sick of zombies. So I feel like taking that break for so long really helps out when you go back now. It's okay again for me, at least. And this one is really fun. Again, I try to go into this not like the first time I did, comparing it directly to Train to Busan and making it like a one-on-one comparison, because it's so different, even though it has amazingly the same director, and they came out right next to each other, which is crazy too. But yeah, still holds up, still cool, highly recommend. And not just if you like Train to Busan, just watch it. It's a good movie with a cool story.
That had to be the criticism, because it's not Train to Busan.
No,
yeah.
And that's probably why everybody
wanted
like
more Train to Busan,
I guess.
And there's also a lot of great set pieces of like pure tension building. Oh, they do such a good job with some of that. Like the scene where they're all trapped in the jail, with zombies all on the outside, and then one of the policemen has been bitten on the inside. Yeah, that was very tense. Or where they're trying to crawl underneath that gate, and there's that one lone turned out to just be a crazy lady, but they thought it was a lingering zombie. So yeah, it's definitely got a lot of great stuff going on besides the nice little reveal at the end. Tad, what trivia do you have for Seoul Station?
I thought there would be way more, being a prequel to Train to Busan, but I couldn't find a whole lot on this, other than some interesting facts that I didn't realize that it was released less than a month after Train to Busan was released.
Oh, holy crap.
So
Jesus.
Putting them right next to each other, I think probably hurt it. And it actually takes place one day before Train to Busan. It has the same director, Yeon Sang-ho, and this was more in his wheelhouse. It makes sense that Seoul Station, he had done nothing but anime up until Train to Busan, which is his live action directorial debut, which is incredible. But it makes sense, like how we're talking about the extreme stuff in that movie, that this guy had a whole career in painting and animation leading up to
Not
that. So
physical limitations.
Yeah. So when you make the live action, it's like, my characters are basically going to be animated characters in real life. So makes more sense hearing that. I think they actually made this first as well. So very cool.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it makes me want to watch Train to Busan again too. So.
Has anyone watched Peninsula?
Nope.
No.
Maybe that's the one that got shit on. Maybe everyone hated Peninsula. So I haven't seen
What's
that.
Peninsula?
It's a sequel.
There's a sequel that I
Yeah.
don't know about? Live
action. Yep.
Really?
Same director?
Good question. Let me look. This is exciting for everyone.
It says so.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Nice. Anybody know if it's streaming anywhere? You'll have to look.
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it came out in 2020.
Yeah. No,
It's Train to Busan presents Peninsula.
Oh, interesting.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hopefully it. Well, yeah, I didn't even know. Didn't even know. Hopefully it's good. Maybe this whole franchise is like Cloverfield kind of thing. Just another zombie movie and slap Train to Busan on it. Tad, what's our next film?
Our next film is Predator: Killer of Killers.
You are old enough now. It's time I tell you about the monster. We must kill it, or it will kill us all.
All right. This new Predator anthology story follows three of the fiercest warriors in human history: a Viking raider guiding her young son on a bloody quest for revenge, a ninja in Japan who turns against his samurai brother in a brutal battle for succession, and a World War II pilot who takes to the sky to investigate an otherworldly threat to the Allied cause. But while all three of these warriors are killers in their own right, they are merely prey for their new opponent, the ultimate killer of killers. So this is the new animated anthology from the Predator series from Dan Trachtenberg, who brought us the Fantastic Prey. I guess this is a little holdout until we get the new movie later this year, next year. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's this year sometime, like late
Fuck
summer
yeah.
maybe.
This is like really cool because it makes me think of all these comic book sort of spin-offs that we get in all these things, and I'm like, they finally found a way to take these stories. Of course, I would love to see these all done in live action too, but realistically, that it'd take another 20 years to get to these. So it's really cool to see that they're sort of taking that, and I'm hoping that Hulu's getting the views to keep making this kind of thing, because I don't know, I sort of outspoken against streamers and what they're doing and stuff, but this is, after Prey came out and a lot of people were like, that should have been in theaters, that should have been seen on the big screen, it deserved a theatrical release, which I agree with. They at least did put out a physical media release, which is cool. And this follow-up is really cool too. Just the idea that, to me, this is what like streaming should be used for, is these little stories that probably go to a niche audience. It's not going to be something that would play in a theater, but it's really cool that we get this and exist. And I loved all 3 stories, and so cool again, where I'm like, we talked about this after Prey. Where else could we put Predator? And everybody who has way more knowledge than me about the comic books is like, well, you could put him against Vikings, or you could put him in World War II, or you could put him here or there. And I'm like, those are all cool ideas. Well, what if we put 3 of them into a animated anthology that kicks ass? And this kicked ass. So
it really
what do you guys think? Yeah.
What you said about it feeling like comic books, that was exactly what I felt watching it. It felt like sitting down and reading a 4-issue Dark Horse miniseries that was published in like 1992. Like, I mean, I have almost all of the Dark Horse Aliens and Predator stuff. I love those comics. They're some of my favorite comics of all time. It's, for the last 15 years of getting, from the time they announced the first Alien versus Predator up, and we've had Prey, which is good, and Predators, which was okay, and we've had a bunch of real dog shit alien movies, and then one decent one with Romulus. And every time one of these comes out and it sucks, I'm like, what are you fucking doing? You could adapt.
You have the stories,
any number of so many great stories that are already out there. And well, these aren't direct adaptations of any of the Dark Horse stuff. There was a Predator versus Samurai one. There was some Predator and World War II stuff. I can't remember if there was a Predator versus Viking one or not. They might not have done one of those, but yeah, just the vibe of this, like, none of it felt hacky, like, the Predator, like all the stupid shit they came up with for that one, like when they send him the dumb MacGuffin Predator Iron Man suit at the end, and it's just like, what are you fucking doing? Like, it's just way too far afield. But all of the stuff in this, there were a couple of points where it kind of pushed the boundaries for me a little bit, like the King Predator at the end with that might have been a little too, like, he looked like one of the Kenner Predator toys.
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought he was badass looking.
But
I thought he was cool.
Like, I loved, like, the Viking story is probably my favorite one, but I also really loved the World War II one, because you don't get to see a lot of Predator's other gadgets. You just get to see the gadgets they carry, but, like, you don't see much of their ships or their other tech or that kind of thing. So I love seeing a Predator ship in a dogfight. That was fucking cool as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think this is the first time we see the word yautja used in a movie, because that's what they've been called that in the comics since the 90s. But it was cool to see that little bit of literary lore come forward to be like, okay, this is canon now.
Yeah, that's one of my trivia. I have a ton of it on this, so it's not taking anything. But the opening epigraph marks the first time the species name, what did you say?
Yautja.
Yautja has been used in an official Predator film. It was first introduced in an expanded universe of Predator comics, with the species previously credited as predators in the film. So that's cool.
I love that, like, all 3 stories are about the people, the human characters, and, like, you didn't waste time with history with the Predators. Just the Predator show up, and it'd be of that time, of that style of Predator. We just figure out the Predator by what cool-ass fucking design they are and what they're doing. They're just there to wreak havoc, and our main characters are just trying to survive. The stories are all about the people and not the Predator, and I'm like, man, you can just do that all fucking day, and why don't they, right?
Yeah. Although I will gotta say, at what point is this predator species going to realize that they need to quit coming to Earth?
Right.
Like, but no matter what era it is, they end up getting their asses kicked.
It's about the challenge, though. That's why they keep coming here.
Yeah,
because every time one comes here, it's like, okay, all those other ones died, but I'm going to be the one who,
They want to be the one.
But if you do look at the ratio of kills, like, Predator has outkilled humans than humans have killed Predators. So.
Yeah.
This is my... sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, talking about that, and then why do they keep coming here? This once and for all shuts down a little piece of headcanon that I've loved for a long time, of the idea that they're not this race of, the whole planet is just these badass barbarian hunters. That the predators we see coming to Earth to hunt are like accountants and dentists and shit. and this is just them like dressing up and being all manly and coming down, like going on a game safari in Africa for people kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense. This was my favorite of the show. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm hoping Brian agrees, that this animation is
my favorite of the show too.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the animation of this is freaking gorgeous. I thought it was so beautiful.
I love the painted look of it.
Yeah.
It was it moved jerkily. I know that was an intentional stylistic choice because it looks almost more, again tying it back to the comic thing. If you've ever watched a motion comic,
yeah,
it felt more like that than full animation, and I wish it had been more fluid. But I liked the look of it was fine. It was just choppy.
Okay, that's fair. But I just thought all the designs and the coloring and everything is just was beautifully.
It's the first
beautiful
feature
animation.
film to use what's called Unreal Engine, a new 3D animation, program of some kind, and says that they drew stylistic influences from a movie that was mentioned earlier, Akira.
Nice. Okay. It took a little bit for me to get invested at first. I don't know. The Viking story didn't really grab me too much, but I think that's one of the great things about the movie is that it just continually builds and builds and builds and builds. And man, the World War II story was my favorite, hands down, out of the three. I really enjoy characters that have to overcome major odds stacked against them, and they have to use their wits and their brains to figure out how to survive, as opposed to just straight on full force muscle. You get some of that with the Viking and the ninja, but also moments of I kind of feel like I've seen it before, like hiding under the ice so he can't see with the heat vision. But just some of the stuff that goes on in that and he's using a really, really shitty, crappy plane to try to survive. And then, maybe it goes way over the top with him climbing on the wing and trying to, but I don't care.
But that's what's great about animation.
But it was still kind of awesome at the same time. And then, seeing that other Predator tech, whatever that, net grappling laser hook things that he was taking down the planes with that would just slice things into chunks of cheese was freaking awesome.
Cheese.
Yeah, I kind of want cheese now.
Or that kinetic punchy thing that the one in the Viking segment had, because he got his arm taken off, so he had that battering ram thing.
Yeah,
that's a fist instead.
And then just that realization that all three of these stories are going to connect at the end, and that the Predators have been collecting these warriors for a bigger fight at the end. And again, just the kind of the ironic comedy that this, not a actual big tough strong fighter guy from the World War II story is one of them that they chose to be one of the mighty warriors for this end all battle. I thought was pretty cool. And again, he's having to use his wits to get out of this situation and try to save the others. And so just that whole final act, and I thought Papa Predator was really cool looking. Would love to see a live action version of that thing. And I just kind of hope that this keeps going. And I guess at the end of the day, we all know I'm a sucker for connected universe shit. And Dan is really building his chunk of the Predator universe and connecting all the threads. You all saw the little tease at the very end, right, in the pods. Yeah, so I kind of hope he keeps getting to play in the sandbox and continually growing. There's some unanswered questions that I hope to maybe get to see answered. Like, what time period are all three of them in right now, and how are they going to react to when they get back? Him and the ninja get back, if they get back to Earth, And
Surprise, they're on the ship from Lily C.A.T.
Yeah, did they ever explain how all three characters got to be at the same time?
They were kind of cryogenically frozen
Yeah.
because they refroze the Viking at the very end and put her in her status thing. So I'm assuming that's how they all ended up.
I assumed. I just didn't remember.
Yeah.
They don't really explain it, like all of it, but I think it's sort of implied even that like Arnold is there. Like there's some cool little nods.
Was there more little nods in the pods that I didn't get to see, that I missed?
Apparently, like I missed them too,
Arnold?
but reading in the trivia and stuff, there was some. As people were saying first, it could be Adrian Brody's character from Predators, but I don't know. It's not like cut and dry of who it is. A lot of fan speculation on,
Who it is? You mean that final one that you see the close up on?
No, I guess other pods are showing.
Oh, other pods. Yeah, because
yeah.
the room is just full of pods right there at the
right.
end. Yeah.
People probably pause the pods and look at the pods and see what's in the pods. What's in the pod?
What's in the pods? Hashtag pods for this episode.
I loved this pod. I mean movie.
Let's do a podcast. Yeah, I love this one. This is really cool. I'm just happy that the Predator series is going in the right direction, and seems like the Alien one is too. And we don't need them to cross over again.
Is there an official title for the one coming out this year?
Badlands.
Badlands?
Yeah.
Stay tuned on Hulu.
I mean, I'm good with another crossover. Can we just have a good one, please?
Yeah, just make it good, yeah. Let's put
I mean,
Terminator
I will
and
say,
RoboCop in the mix, too.
all these years separated from the... Well, Dark Horse did RoboCop versus Terminator,
yeah,
too,
I know,
so we could have a whole big... separated from all the years of built-up expectations, that first Alien versus Predator movie isn't the worst thing in the world.
No,
it's
not,
it's not good, but it's amusing enough to get by.
Well, and it's
but the second one is still
the
second one's
fucking unwatchable.
It's bad. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's sit back and relax.
Some more trivia?
And listen to the next hour of trivia. Go for it.
Hey!
There is quite a bit on here, but I was picky because some of it, like I said, was speculation. But I did think this was cool. I didn't even think about it, but because of his voice casting in this movie, Michael Biehn now joins Bill Paxton and Lance Hendrickson as someone who's in Terminator, Aliens, and Predator.
Yeah, I saw his name. Who was he in the movie? Because I didn't recognize it until I saw his name at the very end.
I think he's in the World War II as one of the pilots or something. Because because again, in the things, people were like, people were arguing over the fact that the other two had been killed by an alien and a predator, but he was not technically killed by a predator because he was killed by a plane that crashed on and landed on him or something. So
well, it still counts because that plane went down because of the predator.
Yeah,
come on.
Another little Easter egg: the pistol given to Torres for the last battle is the same one that they appeared previously in the movies Predator 2 and Prey.
I was wondering. Okay,
he's continuing that thing,
awesome.
Which is cool. And then co-director Dan Trachtenberg was asked about how Nauru is present in this story, as Prey took place in 1719, which places it at least 200 years before the film's climax, raising questions about how she appears. Trachtenberg explains that time travel is not involved, as she has been taken from her original time and put into stasis. She is one of the captives who one day fight in the Yautja arenas.
Bless you.
So, so that's he's sort of saying like all these people who they're capturing, putting, they're all put into stasis. So
cool.
From the mouth of the man. So that's not speculation. That's what they're going for, which is cool. Like, is this building up to something? I don't know, but I'm so more involved in this universe than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to lean that way myself.
And that's what
I was actually, when I was watching this one, I was actually in my brain making connections to What If, like Marvel's animated series that's connected to their universe, and this blows the lid off
Way
of
more
all
interesting.
of those together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I did like the first season of What If.
I did too.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Was that it, Tab?
That is.
All right. Now it's time. I want to hear from you guys here. What is the kill of today's show? Who wants to go first?
I liked in Lily C.A.T. Carol that is gooey, body mutating from the alien infection, face melting, limbs deforming. Just very cool, like The Thing vibes on that one in Lily C.A.T.
Sweet. Brian?
I couldn't pick one specific person's demise, so I'm gonna cheat and go with the whole slaughter in the Viking long haul from Killer of Killers, because that is just so fucking insane.
I was gonna do the same thing.
That's fine. You can have that one too.
So many good ones there.
For me, it was just because I thought the weapon was cool and I like what it did, and you didn't see a ton of what it actually did to the pilots, but just that laser net grappling hook thing when taking down the planes. And you do see some quick shots of that thing just ripping through the cockpit and just going right through the pilots. And I thought that was, that was just so super cool.
It's your love of cheese got you that one.
I do. I love cheese. Okay. So there you have it, folks. Animated horror again. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have our final two segments. First, you're going to hear a promo for our podcast network, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network. The PFPN is home to so many amazing shows, such as The Movie Defenders. The Movie Defenders is a podcast that discusses the positive aspects of popular movies. Most movie review podcasts spend their entire time tearing down the movies that you love instead of actually celebrating them. They take popular movies that have been ridiculed and pooped on by critics and defend them. You can check out The Movie Defenders and all the other shows at thepfpn.com. We'll be right back, guys.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to the show. Now it's time to hear from you guys, the listeners. Here's Jason with shout-outs.
It's time for
Shout-outs! 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 Shout-outs!
All right, we asked, what are your favorite animated horror movies? Let's start over in the Attack of the Killer Podcast group edition. That's our Facebook group. Y'all should get in there. We got the Reebster. Mike Reeb, he's up first. He says, Coraline takes the cake for me.
Oh, I want cake now.
Cheesy cake. Monster House is great. And almost any episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Lots of nightmare fuel in there.
Yeah.
We had Larry Watanabe from My Bleeding Ears on the PFPN. He says, actually, Lily C.A.T.
Ah, nice.
Nice, Larry.
He cheated.
He must have. We had Mitch McCallson says, Josh, what you got? Calling out a friend, I guess. And then so Josh, there's a Josh chimed in. He says, Josh Ramos says, Paranorman and Frankenweenie.
Good ones.
Both came out in the same year, and both would have been better choices to win the Oscar for Best Animated Feature instead of Brave. Ooh.
I agree.
Totally
Yeah, I
agree
do
on
agree
that.
with
Yeah.
And then we got Attacker Rose. She says, What's up, Rose? Says Vampire Hunter D, Coraline, and the series, I know not a movie, Uzumaki.
I have
Rose
not
knows her
watched
stuff.
that series, but I have read the Junji Ito comic, and it is fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. Rose is a big anime person, so she knows her shit.
She's tall?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Over on the Facebook page, thank you. Facebook page, we got Abe Kirshner.
What's up, Abe?
He says, different kind of animation, but Mad God was a treat.
Hell yeah. That's like one of those that's like, maybe not always sit down and watch it attentively, but it's a great background movie or something to play behind your band at a concert.
Yeah, like a long-ass Tool music video.
Yeah.
We got attacker Casey Kelderman. He says, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Zoinks.
Made me the horror fan I am today. I believe that. Up next, we got attacker Garth Jacobson. He says, Lily C.A.T. Haven't thought about that one in a while.
A lot of love for Lily C.A.T. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Probably because I posted the picture. The shout-out picture was Lily.
Yeah.
Oh, now that'll do it.
He also says Ninja Scroll and Wicked City were on heavy rotation in my younger days, too.
We did Wicked City on the show. That's
we did,
a favorite, yeah.
Next time we got to do Demon City Shinjuku.
I almost said that. Up next, we got Nightmare Junkhead. So we've devoted a whole month-long look into some of our favorite animated films. So I will say Heavy Metal.
Sweet. We've done that one too.
Yeah. Was seen at an early age and planted some weird seeds. That's no joke. They say Perfect Blue. True anime with some supremely creepy shots.
Wait, we did that one too, right?
We did.
Yep.
Okay.
On the Blue episode.
Oh, yeah.
The Spine of Night. Think Heavy Metal, but with animated dong.
Did we do that one on the show, or did I watch that on my own for a year?
I've heard that one's really good. Yeah, I haven't seen it though.
Did.
I think I watched it for that.
For your love of dong, yeah.
Yeah.
And we closed with Fears of the Dark, which was a crazy, weird French anthology animated flick. Lots of love from us, folks in Kansas City.
Love you too.
Thanks, guys. Up next, we got Attacker Jacob McLaughlin says, Mad God is the magnum opus of a visual effects legend. I've seen it 3 times, and there is so much packed into every frame that it could take 100 viewings to notice every single detail. It's astonishing and among the best stop-motion animation ever put on film. Yeah, I hear it's good.
It's awesome.
And then lastly, we got attacker Tim Lennerer says, Paranorman is a real treat, and also one of those movies that teaches kids something very important. The normies are useless when things get weird and freaky.
That's right.
But the freaks and weirdos will get you through it, or at least have a better chance of doing so. Plus, the moment where Mr. Pendergast dies is a visual quote of the polar bear in Roadhouse falling on one of the bad guys' hench. He goes on to say, Wallace and Gromit in Curse of the Were-Rabbit is essentially a Hammer Studios lycanthropy movie for kids, with some astonishing CG-aided work for the cute little bunnies, the 2 dogs owned by the protagonist and antagonist, and a joke about a bottle of pansy spray that made me laugh like a complete fool in the theater. Nobody else got it, so I laughed alone like a complete fool in the theater. Those are the good ones. I find myself only laughing by myself in the theaters. That's what we got. Oh, yeah, look at that. We got a voicemail from Bill.
Hey, everybody. Attacker Bill here. And actually thought I would try this week. Still calling from the bathroom, though, just so you know. But this was at home, so that's cool, right? Anyway, so I guess this week we're talking about animated horror. And I don't think I have a ton of experience with animated horror movies, but a few things do stand out. I believe Coraline should count if it does. That movie is phenomenal. I love it. It's beautiful to watch, and everything about it gets creepier every time I watch it. I guess horrible cartoons you can't leave out Watership Down. If you've ever seen it, you did not know going into it probably how absolutely terrifying bunny rabbits can be. And then I guess movies with moments of horror would be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was incredibly hard. That poor shoe getting murked was a lot to watch. And then the thing that probably broke my heart the most is the true definition of childhood horror, the Land Before Time. My God, I think that may have ruined an entire generation in that one little moment. Anyway, but beyond that, I do have a new movie I just picked up. I actually stopped at Casey's last weekend and bought a pack of hot dogs, a red, blue, and a green Gatorade, and some raccoon repellent, and 2 slices of the worst pizza known to man. And for some reason, with that combination, I got a free DVD of a animated short movie coming out. It's called, I don't know much about it, but it's called Big Boy Boinkin' in Boise, starring the Bubble Boys. It's apparently, I'm just going to read from the back of the box here. It's an X-rated story of 2 adorable, white, mildly bearded little chunky monkeys on a road trip from the Midwest to the great state of Idaho in search of taters and cuddle struggles. I guess I'll report back what this is like in the future, but I have a feeling I might be bleaching my eyes. Anyway, keep up the good work, guys, and yeah. Bye.
Next time he should call us from the same bathroom that his phone is in.
Right. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Bill. I think. I don't know if it's the feud's getting worse. Scared. All right, but hey, you too, listening, can leave a voicemail. It's easy. All you got to do is call us on your cellular telephones at 415-952-6857 or on a rotary phone or a push button. Anyway, 415-95-AOTKP. Give us a call. Leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show, and that is shout-outs.
And now the man who took his car in for a tune-up and came home with the mystery machine. It's Insane Mike Saunders and Insane's Picks.
What's a rotary phone, you old man?
Oh.
Harold, a poor, defenseless nerd, gets constantly bullied until one day he snaps and gets his revenge. No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Killer Nerd from 1991. It's a horror comedy directed by Wayne Allen Harold and Mark Steven Bozick, who are not only known for directing Killer Nerd, but also for directing Bride of Killer Nerd.
Oh.
This movie is mostly noteworthy for starring Toby Radloff. Toby was a mail clerk who worked with underground comic book writer Harvey Picard and Picard. God dang it, Harvey Picard, and was featured in Harvey's book American Splendor. He considered himself a self-proclaimed genuine nerd. Toby's exposure in American Splendor caught the attention of MTV. The music video channel had Toby become a special correspondent for some comedy set pieces. Toby even appeared as himself in the movie American Splendor featuring Paul Giamatti. Yeah, great movie. The film is nothing special, though. It takes forever to get to Harold's revenge, and the kills lack any flair, and overall production value was extremely lacking. What makes this film great, though, is Toby himself, with his distinctive manner of speech, quirky mannerisms, and his utter bravery for putting himself out there in ridiculous situations is what makes this film worth the watch. One scene in particular, he cries like a cat on the outside lawn of somebody's house on all fours to draw the victim out of the house so he can kill them. Troma released the film along with Bride of Killer Nerd, and currently you can check it out for free on Tubi. So be sure to check out 1991's Killer Nerd. And that concludes another episode of Attack of the Killer podcast. If you want even more of the show in your life, be sure to join us on Discord. And while you're at it, enter our freaking contest already. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And be sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, don't forget, on September 6th in Burlington, Iowa, join us for a screening of Fright Night. Show starts at 7, and it is a free event, so come and watch Fright Night with us on September 6th. You can find Attack of the Killer podcast just about everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Bye, everybody.
Oh no, could this be the end of? Attack of the Killer Podcast.